Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's Sunday. Sunday. Yes, I know I usually do not come on Sundays, but yeah, kind of felt like doing this. So, um, yeah, yeah, um, cool. So, put a new light. Um, it was too bright. It was pretty cool. At one point, it was shining over, looked like this. So we're gonna here. Let's see if I can try and recreate that. It was something like that. It's kind of cool. anyway, anyway, it's Sunday. We're just messing around. All right. Before we get started today, I wanted to talk about stigma. Of course, we got to do our regular banner thing. Please say hello. Let me know that you are here. Whether you watch whether you're watching live or the rewatch, let me know. A lot of people aren't expecting me today, so honestly, I'm not expecting anybody to show up. Maybe the rewatches. And then if you have a topic you'd like to hear, please bring it up, and we will talk. We will get to it and talk about it. Um, Fantastic. So today is September 27th, 2020, and I wanted to talk about stigma first. You did, Stephanie. Good to see you on a day that I don't usually do it. Um, so stigma. All right. And it's going to tie into what I'm talking about today too. All right, so it's not necessarily tough to talk about. Okay, here's the thing: we don't like stigma, right? And we've created stigma as a bad word, and stigma is just stigma. There is nothing bad about it. Stigma is just an action caused by somebody else, right? Or a thought process. Okay, now I want you to think about it. Everybody is running around taking everybody else's inventory and judging them. It happens all day long. Okay. And we still survive. We make it through. We do what we need to do. Right. Right. All right. Now, during that time, in the last few years, we have decided to change, addiction or alcoholism or things like that to substance use disorder. Okay. Which is fine. But for me, gosh, that makes me feel awfully clinical, man. I just want to be a drunk. Okay. Just, you know, So yes, I don't necessarily agree with the fact we go, well, he's just a drunk. Yeah, okay. The stigma that comes behind it. You're not capable of doing that. Okay. All right. So what you're going to be fighting is anger, and you're never going to win. Okay. If you approach somebody angrily, how do you think they're going to react? Anytime I have stigma that comes up, I look for a chance to educate. If I can't educate, then I walk away. So what? So and I'm going to say it, and it's going to give you a question mark. So fucking what? Right. And I say it's going to give you a question mark because I don't know if you noticed, but there's closed captioning now. That's why I think it's 2-3 seconds off, which is kind of cool. But 2-3 seconds in this business is a long time. Uh, so do we fight the stigma or do we educate the stigma? Because whenever I hear somebody talking about stigma, all I hear is anger. That's all I hear. I'm not going to hear about what's actually going on, what's happening, because you're too angry, and I don't want to hear it. Right? Oh no, that's passion. I know passion. I know when I see passion, and I know when I see anger because I have both. I have experienced both. And I know what they look like. The I'm so grateful. Oh yeah, my camera should call that too. I love those people. I'm gonna take off my hoodie. And yes, you may donate $1 while I'm doing this. Oh, all right, we are back. So, do we fight stigma? No, I don't think we fight stigma. I think we accept it for what it is. Um, yeah, even when we say fight stigma, Those words, in and of itself, is creating negativity right off the bat, right? Can we control the things outside of us and what other people think? Not really. Not if they're not willing to change. Maybe I need to change. Ooh. What? I'll let you know that usually when you see something like that, it's usually something you need to deal with, right? Right? Unless you want to run around being angry all the time that that person over there that you don't even know their frickin' name is, saying something that is offending you. Um, $2. Thanks, that was worth $2. All right. All right. So, excuse me. Let's get to the reading. In times past, even as adults, many of us childishly insisted that most people protect, defend, and care for us. Oh, yeah. What, you don't have my back? You better, I have your back. I didn't have your back. That was such a, no. We acted as if the world owed us a living. I felt that way. I went through a lot of tough stuff as a kid, and I felt like the world owed me for all the crap people had given me, being pushed downstairs, shoved in lockers, being called peon Dion, master Bates. I could go on, guys, for 15 minutes on that. I'm exaggerating, but I could go on that. So I felt like you all owed me for putting up with your childish bullshit all my life. I was wrong. And then when the people we most loved became fed up, pushing us aside, or perhaps abandoning us completely, we were bewildered. I'm not going to give you that chance. I know if you're getting ready to break up with me, I'm going to do it first. We couldn't see that our overdependence on people was unsuccessful because all human beings are fallible. Even the best of them will sometimes let us down, especially when our demands are unreasonable. My demands can be unreasonable, sober, in recovery. Okay. When I would put things down, yeah, it was a demand. And a lot of times I would put people in a situation where they had to pick between one thing or another. I would give them an ultimatum. And I would give them the ultimatum that would make them go away. That's how I was. I didn't like people around me. Today, in contrast, we rely upon God, counting on Him rather than ourselves or other people. Now let me reiterate that. I wanted everybody to take care of me, but I wanted you all away from me. Does that make sense? It probably does to you guys. Am I trying to do is and right today, in contrast, we rely upon God, counting on Him rather than on ourselves or other people. Am I trying to do as I think God would have me do, trusting the outcome of His will for me? Yes, I am. I love God. We're at this, man. So I'm going to read out of the family afterward. I love this chapter. This chapter, my sponsor actually took me to this chapter in the very beginning. And I talked about this yesterday. It took me a long time to have good relationships with my kids. Okay, almost 5 years of sobriety. In order to do that, it's just now starting to happen. So we have to give it time. Was that hard? Yeah, it was really hard. It was one of the hardest fucking things I ever did in my life. And it was worth every single thing. And what I like about it is I come out on the other end and I feel proud of myself for doing the right fucking thing. Okay? That's what it is. That I finally got to a point where I'm a father. Because I've in my heart of hearts, I've never felt that way. I've never felt, I don't know what a father is supposed to feel like, right? Now I do, and I know where my place is. And it's usually not interfering with my kids. I let them do what they need to do. The head of the house ought to remember that he is mainly to blame for what befell on his home. He can scarcely square the account of it in his lifetime, but he must see the danger of the overconcentration on financial success. Although financial recovery is on the way for many of us, we found we could not place money first. For us, material well-being always followed spiritual progress. It never preceded. And so we work on our spirituality first. And because it doesn't matter what happens in life, it doesn't matter what topic we're talking about, it doesn't matter the situation. It all starts and ends with you and what's going on here, right? And how you are handling the situation. You cannot control other people. You cannot. Since the home has suffered more than anything else, it is well that the man exert himself there. He is not likely to get far in any direction if he fails to show unselfishness and love under his own roof. We know there are difficult wives and families, but the man who is getting over alcoholism must remember he did much to make them so. Okay. So my job when I first got sober, my job uh, with my with my sponsor was I was to spend more time with my family. Okay, doing the things that they wanted to do. Okay, and that was tough for me because I didn't know them well enough. Right, so what did I have to do? I had to get to know them well enough. Okay, and that still took time. It didn't happen right away, but there had to be a start. And I'm glad that he made me do that in the very beginning. Okay. Because I talk about my kids a lot. I hardly ever talk about my wife. Okay. My wife and I have a very successful relationship. Okay. We communicate. We don't argue. We love each other the way that we want to be loved. Okay. And we care for each other. I mean, when she's down, it's my day to take care of her and vice versa. And we depend on each other, even so as we know. But we have to remember that people are fallible, man. And not everything's going to be perfect. So what you do is you love without expectation. It's called unconditional love. As each member of a resentful family begins to see his shortcomings and admits them to others, he lays a basis for helpful discussion. I had to be the example. Okay? Even if my kids were doing something wrong, I kept my mouth shut. Okay? Why? Because at this point, they're not going to believe me yet. They had to see by example. Okay. And then when my kids moved out, that was even tougher because they couldn't see what was going on. So it took more time. These family talks will be constructive if they can be carried out without heated argument, self pity, self justification, or resentful criticism. I call those the particulars, and I stay very, very far away from them. Okay. The particulars are, well, you did this and it made me feel this way, and you did that and it made me feel this way. Now, that can be okay in like a therapeutic setting or something where it's one on one. But when you have a family with no other person there to mediate or something, you're going to be the person that's in control, not necessarily in control, but setting the example. And you have to stay in that place. Little by little, mother and children will see they ask too much, and father will see he gives too little. Giving rather than getting will become the guiding principle. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Every relationship is 50-50. Okay. I don't do this 110% bullshit with me. No. Every relationship is 50-50. Okay. 50% give, 50% take. Okay. Now, my wife and I, okay, I mean, it's a great example. During my drinking, she gave. I took. Okay. As I started to get sober, we had to figure that out. Okay. And it took us a little bit of time. I give 50% of the time and then I take 50% of the time. Okay. Why? Because giving makes me feel good. Okay. And when they take it, it makes me feel even better. That's why. So you have to stop and take every now and again. All right. Today I pray, may I know from dependence of my past that I am a dependent person. I am. I'm still a dependent person. I would not be here if my wife, if it wasn't for my wife, guys. I would not be able to do this day after day. Okay. I'd be, and I'm a horrible employee. I'm not a very good employee. So I depended on alcohol, mood altering chemicals, food, and other addictive pursuits. I was inclined to hang on other people, depending on them for more than they could give. Instead of maybe saying depend on other people, we could say rely. Because I think that's a little bit better. More, I think that's a better suited word of what I'm going for there. May I at last switch from those adolescent dependencies to a mature, healthy dependence on my higher power. Today I'll remember I have more than one dependency. Okay. Okay. I'm not just recovering from drugs and alcohol, I'm recovering from trauma, recovering from depression, excitement. Yes. Right. Again, words are words, guys. How we utilize them is what matters. The Matrix actually had that right on. So let's do some highs. Hi, Shane. Yes, Shane. I usually take today off, but I feel like going on. Um, but we talked about stigma today. Thank you everybody for being on here and being a part today. I know threw everybody kind of threw everybody off. Um, so yeah. Today was just kind of I was sitting outside, and I don't usually work on Sundays. Doesn't mean I don't work on recovery. It just means that I stay away from my business. But kind of felt like doing it today. So, and I made $2 from Stephanie. So, well, we'll throw it in the basket. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great day. Peace out. And no, it's peace out. No, it's I love you guys. That's it. I love you guys. You know I do. Peace out and have a day. That's it. All right. Love you guys. Bye.